Shalom, shalom, shalom. Kohalam la Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah Wahara Chakudash. And double honors to the hopefully elect elder apostle slave to be saved. Lord willing, start with the elder men at the GMS church on down to the rest that may be out here and been out here under the same doctrine, onward to the rest of the Akim here at this faction of this hopefully elect assembly doing what they need to do in the order. Shalom, onward to the rest of the Akim doing likewise, and to the rest of you beautiful believers, the beautiful believers in on this beautiful faith of Yahweh, right? Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Alright, so we're back with another news reports, right, of prophecy. And in this one, pretty much it's just a furtherance, a continuance, or update on the last ones. You know, everything the Lord is doing in the earth. Obviously, we know about the floods, the drying up, and whatnot. So just kicking it off with the floods for one, here's an example of an update, or the severity for those that may now just be tuning in to what's going on in the earth. All right, because that's what you want to not be doing, right? You want to be tuned in. Quick scripture. All right. It's a lot. This is Proverbs 17:24. As it says, wisdom is before him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. See, are in the ends of the earth. So let's read it one more time. Wisdom is before him that hath understanding, right? But the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. So you want to you want to have wisdom before you, right? And having what Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai told you to have in front of you will be wisdom in front of you, right? Which is what? Hearing the sayings of him and doing them. What's some of the sayings? He said, watch, therefore, and pray that we may be able to escape, these things that are coming upon earth. All right? And let me grab this scripture before I forget. For example, Sirach 39. Because if you're not doing that, you will be a fool, right? As it says, the eyes of the fool are in the ends of the earth. Let's see if I can grab that. Sirach 39. Yep. Sirach 39. It says, as you see right here. Well, let me come back here really quick. Right. Sensible, this is in the NLT, Proverbs 17:24. Sensible people that have their senses, keep their eyes glued on wisdom, but a fool's eyes wander to the ends of the earth. Alright? And getting the details on what wisdom is, Sirach 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High. You know what? Let's do this. Let's jump up to the last chapter. Sirach 38:31. All these trust to their hands, and everyone is wise in their work. Without these cannot a city be inhabited. So that's the regular average, everyday Joe Schmo. Alright? They're just 9 to 5s, working on a car in the garage, in the lawn, in the yard, cutting the grass, popping open a beer, getting a beer belly, burping up some pork, some pieces of some shit, and not knowing what's going on, watching Jeopardy. That's what's going on. Or Jake, cooking something in the crock pot, watching a goddamn Tyler Perry movie or something, laughing something, or on the phone running their mouth, from the men to the women, or playing 2K high some goddamn where don't know what's going on. That's their eyes is everywhere else, but everything else is before their eyes except wisdom, right? And we're gonna get what the wisdom is. And these are your everyday people. That's what we're talking about. All these trust to their hands, and everyone is wise in his work. Without these cannot a city be inhabited, and they shall not dwell. So these people are just your common people that help make up the cities you live in, right? The societies, and help the burgers get flipped and passed out. But anyway, it says, and they shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. They shall not be soft, right? They not due to that. They're not going to, they're just sheeple. That's what it means. They shall not dwell where they will, nor go up and down. They don't have that power. They just debt slaves, sheeples, etc. Right? They're caught up in the system. Right? They're hamsters on that wheel. And it says, they shall not be sought for in public counsel, nor sit high in the congregation. They shall not sit. What congregation? The congregation of the Lord. Right? This is what's esteemed. Public counsel. Those, you're not going to find these people in charge of the Lord's counsel. Right? It says, they shall not sit on the judge's seat, nor understand the sentence of judgment. They cannot declare justice and judgment, and they shall not be found where parables are spoken. But they will maintain the state of the world, and all their desire is in the work of their craft. Verse 1 in Sirach 39. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. Let's read it again. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecy. So that's what you want to have in front of you, the prophecies. Proverbs 17 and 24. Why? Because that's the wisdom. Proverbs 17 and 24. Wisdom is before him, aka the prophecies that have understanding. But the eyes of the fool are in the ends of the earth, which is why Yahushua, he told us what. Let's go here really quick. Let's go to first. I can grab a couple. Peter. You know what? Yeah, Khan. Let's go there. Yeah, Khan. I believe that's it. What I want. Bear with me. Baba Kusha. Let's go there. Alright, and 7. It says, but the end of all things is at hand. See that? That's what you gotta understand, man. So for those of you that didn't know, you just now tuning in, you didn't know the world was ending. The world's ending. It says, be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Alright? So there it is. The world is about to end. The Lord is at hand. He's on his way back, and all these things going on are signs of that. Right? A new world is about to come. To you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and all you inhabitants of the earth, through the ending of this one, which is clearly going on right now through these different events that the Heavenly Father has already preordained, pre-selected, to be the way he wants this world to go out. So let's hit play.
Imagine waking up to this.
I'm freaking out. My apartment is literally flooding. I just woke up and should I call 911? What do I do?
Her beautiful loft apartment in downtown Dallas is filling with water, and she just moved in 2 days before.
My whole apartment is flooding. It's underwater. I just got this apartment.
As the water poured in, Brittany Taylor documented.
So that's why you want to understand what the end of all things is at hand. Right? If you understand that certain moves you're going to be making, right, you're going to make in a certain way. And with regard to that fact, which is what? The world is ending. But as it says in Proverbs 17:24, wisdom is before him that hath understanding. But the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. She just moved in her new apartment. She thought it was just going to be, you know, she couldn't be any more mistaken. All right? So what we're going to do now, through the Spirit, we're going to go to 2nd Esdras in the 16th chapter, because the Lord told us not being like this, man. Right? He actually told us, you know what? Through the Spirit. You know what? I just get that after 1 Thessalonians 5. The Lord told us what? You know, be not as others. You know, that sleep in the day, they sleep. We walk, we as children of the light, man. They talking about peace and safety, then that sudden destruction come. Anyway, you know, we're not in darkness, so we gotta act like it. But anyway, to get specific, the Lord put us on this. This is 2nd Esdras 16 and verse 40. It says, "O my people, hear my word and make you ready to the battle." It says, verse 41, and those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose, right? Because we know everything that surrounds us, right, that's made, that is really everything, the metal, all these elements is going to be burnt up. That's what's coming to America, if you're in America. She's in Texas, right? So us in this truth, right, and are starting to take heed to the truth, we knew the truth, been in the truth, whatever. We ought to understand what? When you buy, it's going to be, you got to do it as one that, you got to understand, or do anything, make any move, you got to understand what's going on. Right? You got to understand the world is in it. You're making all moves in regards to that. So he that buyeth is one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise is he that hath no profit by it. And he that buildeth, that's one that shall not dwell therein. She didn't know that. See that? It says, yeah, that's basically it. You know, you can read the point. I mean, you can read on for the rest. All right? It says, this is another point, this verse 47, and they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin. Right? So, you're supposed to be acting like the world in it. Now, we're going to make moves, because the Lord, he told us to what? Use the world and not abuse it. See if I can grab that really quick. I'm going to get back to these videos, and that's going to be it, man. All right. 1 Corinthians in the 7th chapter. All right. 1 Corinthians 7. Jump down to 28th verse. All right. It says what? Might have to start at 29. It says, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that, right, so you occupy in the truth, right? And you sisters that subscribe, it says that both they that have wives be as though they had none, right? Because it's a job that got to get done. Men got to gird up their loins and remember what's going on. Right, according to the book of Isaiah 43 and 7 or 8, right? this and shew yourselves men. 48:7, one of those, but quote paraphrasing that scripture, right? It says, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not. So we still buying stuff, but it's like it don't really exist, because the Lord, he says, be careful for nothing, right? Through the Spirit, right? It says, and they that use this world, which is us, as not abusing it. For the fashion of this world passeth away, as it says, but I will have you without carefulness. So we're going to have these things, but we're not going to care about them, man. Right? So that's that. And Hawashai prayed for that. He said he prayed that the Lord take us not out of the world, but that he may keep us from the evil. Right? Things that can get us destroyed, mindsets that can get us destroyed, things that can be distractions, a detriment to our laboring, working on ourselves. That's to take place, and the work that has got to be done in general for the edification of the body, right? Which is the body of Hawashai, the church, those that's in on His faith. The brothers and sisters, working on yourself first, and then doing the work that you can shine forth outwardly to the rest for others, right? Your respective lives. If it's just to your sisters, you just being obedience to your own husband, man. Being an honorable daughter of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh. All right, but anyway, she didn't know that, right?
Every second
she didn't know none of this.
Precious family photos, her pricey Apple laptop, computer, her belongings still in boxes all through it.
I never even had a chance to invite friends over. I was so excited to be there.
We caught up with Brittany today.
I hadn't finished unpacking my boxes, so the cardboard was melting in the water and everything was falling in. And
So you gotta understand, whatever you may be doing, what could come. Right, that these things gonna come at any point. That's why the Lord said, "Be His pilgrims." Like, we don't care about none of this crap, man. All right, we trying to get saved. This is not our rest. We don't have a continuing city here, none of that. But these damn devils, the Lord is sore. Who the Lord is sore displeased that they just have been at ease, thinking the cup was never gonna pass to them, thinking they. Their inward thought, like the Lord said, is that their house shall continue forever unto all generations, according to Psalms the 48th chapter. All right, this stuff gonna be here at one point, right? But it's short. It's slowly but picking up speed rapidly at this point. Gone, disappearing onward to the point of. To the day when it's gone in 30 minutes or 1 hour. Everything. Right? Their whole world, man. So.
I have a truck full of just.
And this is one of the ways the Lord is accomplishing that feat right now. Right? That desire right now. Flooding different places. Right?
Stuff that I have to see if I can salvage any of it.
This was the hallway outside her apartment as Brittany went to check on her car. A raging river runs through the parking lot.
I'm looking for my car.
See, these fucking people don't get it, because the Lord just froze Texas over, like a couple years ago? And the same thing happened. When none of these people prepared for it when they should be, when they've been being told, right? Even though the Lord He's not trying to save these people, but for those of you Israelites, you so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians that are in this same state of found yourself or know someone of our people that was in this same situation as her, you had no choice. You had no excuse to be taken by this, and because the Lord told you. All these people ultimately heard. Because our sound went out to all the earth, right? So that's on you, man. If your eyes are on the end of the earth, the Lord is continuing this, right? Which takes me to my next video.
I think it was washed away in the flood.
Her car was floating down the street.
It just turned on by itself. The air conditioning is on, everything is on. Oh, it just popped my trunk too.
Brittany's neighbors in the Elegant Loft building were also flooded out. One young woman posted this video as her apartment filled with water.
Lord don't care about none of that. A man's riches profit not in the day of wrath. And he says he's going to punish this world, right? This proud world. All these people that's up and thinking, the Lord don't care about a goddamn loft. He don't care you just moved in your loft. If you a Hebrew Israelite, you bet he on the way. He won't. You just want to just make sure you in good graces. All right? Because if you are, these things not going to come out of your dwelling. You're going to be straight. All right? He going to deliver you in 6 troubles, which is why we do this. So we just watching this thing play out and continuously growing to get to the point of basically no return to this place. To the point we completely out of here. All right? Get Job really quick. I'll hold this. You know what? Yeah, Job 5, just to hit that point real quick. Job 5, and I'm going to start at 10. I'm going to start at 9. Let me start at 7. It says, "Yet man is born unto trouble, as the sparks fly upward. I will seek unto," right, understanding like the trouble here is manifested more and more. Like it's about to increase on people, man. I will seek unto Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashai, and unto Yahweh Bahasham Yahawashai would I commit my cause. Would I commit my cause? These people ain't doing it though, which doeth great things and unsearchable. So why wouldn't you commit your cause to him? Marvelous things without number. That's what he's doing right now. Who giveth rain upon the earth, right? And sendeth waters upon the fields, right? And for those that know the scriptures, you go to Matthew 13 and or don't know, right? You're going to know now. Those fields are spiritual too. And the field is what? The field is the world. Just let me grab it real quick. This is Matthew 13 and verse 38. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. So we come back to Job 5. It says what? Who giveth the rain, 5 and 10, Job 5 and 10, who giveth the rain upon the earth and sendeth water upon the fields. The world. See that?
To this. It's really bad. It's really bad. Like it's coming.
In another building in the same neighborhood.
So the Lord's doing that, right? He's doing that to the world. He's sending water to this world because he said he would do what? Just, hitting these quick points. This is Isaiah 13 and verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And what's the arrogancy of the proud? Their cribs, these lost, the things that help them develop that mentality, that attitude. He's going to cause those things to cease, which is going to cause which is going to automatically, by default, cause the arrogancy of these proud people to cease, right? By making what causes them to be arrogant to cease. All right, so Job 5 and Isaiah 13 and 11 continue, and we'll lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, right? Haughtiness. And the Lord, he goes on to tell you how he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold. The man that kept, that was occupied in the meditation of the prophecies, kept wisdom before him, and knew what was going on and took heed, right? And ultimately because why? Job 5:11, he's a man that committed his cause unto the Heavenly Father, who understood Job 5:10, who understood who giveth rain upon the earth and sendeth waters upon the field. That it was Yahweh, who people even call God, Bahasham, meaning in the name of Yahweh Shah, people even call Jesus Christ, that was doing all this. To what? To sit, verse 11, to set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. Exactly. Because he's creating a situation where he's bringing all the high low through these events, these catastrophes of devastation, right? Unlike anything ever witnessed before. As he said he's going to do to these heathens. He's going to do something they ain't never witnessed, right? According to Micah, I believe the 4th chapter, or the 5th chapter. I want to say the 5th chapter. Yep. In the 15th verse, and I will execute vengeance and anger upon and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. Right.
This video has her apartment filled with water.
Woke up to this.
It's really bad. It's really bad. Like it's coming.
In another building in the same neighborhood, Emily White totally freaked out as the water flowed into her home.
I don't know what to do.
Now, the cleanup begins.
So there you go. So those are the heathens, you know. So now he's created this situation to bring those people low, right? So you can understand Isaiah 40:4, right? Comfort ye, and 1. Comfort ye, my people, saith your God. This is for your comfort, right? Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, and that her iniquity is pardoned. For she hath received of Yahweh's hands double for all her sins, which you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Like, he put us through everything. Still, you know, one last thing to get through, which is going to be devastating. But nonetheless, we're done. We're not going into captivity no more. So all this stuff really happening is the cup being passed to these heathens. And they didn't know some shit could taste like this, right? They didn't understand that. So all this is for them, right? These so-called white people started the so-called white man Esau, who was the biblical Edomite, right? Esau. But anyway, jumping to the point. So he's creating a situation to bring these people down, which is these things, right? Because they're high. Every valley, according to Isaiah 40:4, every valley shall be exalted, right? And every mountain and hill shall be made low. So he has to create a situation for those that's high to be made low. You're seeing it. And ironically, it's going to bring those that was low high, because we was down here. So when you come down here by default, we go up. See that? They don't know what to do. They don't, they have no clue what's going on. And he going to actually not even leave us amongst them. That's starting for us that's in the truth. Right? Really, that's only for us that's in the truth. It says, "In the crooked places shall be made straight, and the rough places plain." All right? So when you go back to Job 5:11, and you have a man that's going to understand this, all the Israelite man, the diligent Israelite man, right? And going to be able to procure this comfort to himself, and have evidence, to be able to back it up why he is comforted and to feel comforted through the scriptures, knowing the scriptures, and everything he's saying being according to the scriptures by default. Everything he's saying is according to what's going on. So he's gonna be golden. It's like, oh man, And then ultimately he's done procured the favor of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah unto him. Right? So that's what we want to do. It says to set up on high, Job 5:11, those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. Right? That's how it go. You need something to be saved from. You need the mourn to be exalted to safety. Right? He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. I'm going to jump down to the point. It says, verse 16. So the poor hath hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. Blessed, behold, blessed and happy is the man whom Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua corrected. Therefore, despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. So we have to be down learning these scriptures for the time to come, which is starting to come right now, so we can be up. See that? So we can know what to do. We're being judged now, so we won't be judged with the world, right? That's what all this is about. Even before he came to the truth. But anyway, it says, for he maketh sore and bindeth up, in a sense, right? For he maketh sore and bindeth up. He wounded, and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, even in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. That's why that man will be golden. This man is going to be golden. Because he understands all this, which is why he committed himself to the Heavenly Father. So to ultimately get this. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yeah, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue. Neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. They afraid. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. We sit here laughing. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth, which is other events to where the Lord's going to be able to bring these people down. He's going to send beasts out here. It says, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. It says, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace. How do we know that? Because we know the scriptures. Right? We know who's going to get it and who ain't going to get it. Right? Because the scriptures give you pretty much, it's like a measuring, it's a measuring stick. You know, where you at or whatever. But it says, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shalt not sin. So we're going to be able to go in and out of our house like ain't nothing going on and nothing like that. Anything like that, you know, we're going to still be fruitful and multiply and all of that, man. All right? So we're going to be straight. So that's the point of all this. So for those of you that didn't know that, the world is ending right now. It is. You know, that these floods were serious, they are. As I said through the Spirit, expect more floods. So that takes me to the next video. I'm going to say less.
Jackson, Mississippi. People are being urged to head for higher ground today as the state braces for major floods. The governor has already declared a state of emergency in some areas. Record-setting rain is threatening to flood streets and homes. The Pearl River is projected to crest at 36 feet late tonight through tomorrow evening. So far, the state has deployed at least 126,000 sandbags to divert rising waters and are using drones to keep an eye on water levels. The mayor of Jackson is pleading with his constituents to get out right now.
Get out now. Get out as soon as possible because we have seen these events.
This dude done. What are you going to do? He don't know. Right? You're blind leading the blind. If they get out, where they going to go? We go to the Lord, man. First and foremost. And then if you want to have us move around, that'll be through the Spirit. The Lord said what he's going to have his eye guide us. Right? We're going to be led in every path. Wisdom is going to meet us in every thought. We're going to be lifted up to where we don't dash our foot against the stones. You find all these scriptures I quoted in Psalms the 91st chapter, Psalms the 33rd chapter, what's that? Sirach. In I want to say that's the 4th chapter. Wisdom shall meet thee in every thought. It might be the 6th chapter, but you know, this is all thus saith the Lord.
As 2020, we have a reference point, and we know the damage that can occur.
Right, we just seen it. So it's spread it, man. This was yesterday. It's to the point, the Lord flooding, he's picking particular places. He's not about to flood the earth again. He already said that. So for your comfort, let's go there. All right. Let's go to Genesis in the 9th chapter. Alright. God blesses Noah. Noah represents today, spiritually, the men that's preaching about how the Lord is about to flood the earth again, but not in the same way. Because the Lord never said he wasn't going to flood the earth again. He said he wasn't going to flood the earth again by water. So that's what I mean, and should have said the first time. Alright? But those men that's telling people that, right, will represent the spiritual Noahs. Alright? And the ones that's going to be saved, which is once again why that man, now we don't know exactly, Lord, what we hope that it's going to be us. The Lord is going to pick out these men doing this, right? In true faith and sincerity, and Lord willing, we all make it, because said whoever trusted in the Lord and it was ever confounded, look in the to the generations of old and see, was there any that ever trusted in the Lord was confounded? You're not going to find it. Sirach, the 2nd chapter. So, but nonetheless, we still hope and humbly. All right, because the Lord, he in control. Mercy and wrath belong to him. All right. So, for your comfort, the Lord's not going to flood the earth again with water. But you got some that's probably going to start thinking it, and they going to do error because they don't know. Right? So this is Genesis 9 and jumping to the point, right? And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. See, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. So the Lord's saying that he's not going to kill everybody by water how he did. That's not what's going on. That's not about to happen. The earth is not about to flood with water again. Right? But he's not saying that neither shall all flesh be cut off by a flood. He said by the waters of a flood. See that? Neither shall all flesh be cut off anymore by the waters of a flood. See that? That's particularly how. Right? He's not going to cut off all flesh anyway because he's going to save a remnant of his people. Right? But nonetheless, not to get too deep, it says, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. So the Lord's not going to destroy the whole earth again how he did. He's not going to do that. Right? He's not going to do that. But the earth is about to be hit with plagues. Alright? He's not going to submerge the earth in water. So that's not about to happen. But you people, this is the comfort you get with knowing the scriptures. And we know that the Heavenly Father, what? He said he's going to remember his covenant. I'm going to just read it. Verse 15. And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the water shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And he gave a sign of how to prove to us that he remembering it, which is what putting a rainbow inside of a cloud, which we've been seeing time and time again. So we know this deal was made, and Lord, he's real, and he's keeping that, and he really flooded the earth before, but he's going to keep that promise. He's remembered his covenant, which is what? Which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the water shall no more become a flood to destroy all earth, right? And so he's not going to do that. It's just that simple. All right. So when we go to Numbers and the 20. How do we know this? Jump down. In the 19th verse, Numbers 23 and 19. The Father is not a man that he should lie. It's just that simple. Neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? So he said he's going to remember that covenant, and he's not going to do it. Destroy all flesh by water anymore. The waters will not become a flood anymore to destroy all flesh, right? Or hath he spoken, and shall not he make it good? All right, and that flood that came was only for the wicked anyway, according to Sirach, the 40th chapter, I believe, in the 10th verse. All right, but a flood is coming again, right? A spiritual flood. America's gonna be flooded with water. With fire through the nuclear missiles, and Earth is about to be hit with plagues. All right, so that's basically that, and all that will be for who? For the wicked. All right, so. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. So that's what's going on, man. So to continue.
It warn, extreme weather events like this one will become more frequent as the planet continues to warm as part of the climate crisis.
See, it's not, and that's lies. That's not what's going on. So moving on. All right, it's a bunch of things going on. Let's see where we gonna go now. So let's go ahead and get to. Because this is all proving that the world is ending and where we're at. We're just measuring the time and whatnot and how close we are. Like watching everything that was said to take place, before it even took place, which makes it prophecy. We starting to see these things happening, and we know that the end of the world is here. We see all these signs. All right. So that's why we gotta watch. So let's see what I want to go into. Something that makes sense. It's a bunch of stuff going on. Let's go to. We're going into that right now through the Spirit. Let's go here. Let's just go here. All right. So the uproars of the people. All right. So these uproars got to be very serious, because the Lord said this will be one of the ways that everything would come to an end, right? It will be signs that He's visiting the earth, which He made. All right. More signs, more about signs of the end. All right. I'll read this in this is the NRSV version, I believe. He answered me and said, measure carefully in your mind, and when you see that some of the predicted signs have occurred, then you will know that it is the very time when the Most High is about to visit the world that He has made. So when there shall appear in the world earthquakes, tumults of people, intrigues of nations, wavering of leaders, confusion of princes, then you will know that it was of these that the Most High spoke from the days that were of old, from the beginning. Right? Just as with everything that has occurred in the world, the beginning is evident and the end is manifest. So also are the times of the Most High, and the beginnings are manifest in wonders and mighty works, and the end in penalties and signs. Right? It shall be that all who will be saved and will be able to escape on account of their works, or on account of, really, it's both. Right? You gotta have the work with your faith. You gotta have the faith and works to show you believe. But anyway, it says, by which they have believed will survive the dangers that have been predicted, and will see salvation, my salvation in my land, and within my borders, which I have sanctified for myself from the beginning. All right, and that salvation is only for the Israelites. It's not for anybody else. All right, understand that. So count it blessed. Count yourself blessed, or having a chance to be saved if you are Israelite. So-called black, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the Israelites, according to the signs that the Lord said he would put upon the Israelites, which is what? The curse that they're still under unto this day, and we're the only people that fit them. So this is Isaiah 46:12. It says, "Hearken unto me, ye star-hearted that are far from righteousness. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off. My salvation shall not tarry, and I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory." So that's what salvation for. All right? And we'll get 2 more scriptures through the Spirit to show that, and then just take this back to the point. All right? Bear with me. Let's get Psalms 69 and 35. All right. It says, "For God, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, will save Zion." See that? "And will build the cities of Judah, that they may dwell there and have it in possession." Right? Because we're not there right now. The Gentiles are trotting down the land. All right? That's prophecy. All right? So that's who the Lord is going to save, man. Salvation is only for the Israelites. And all these translations tell you this. All right? In the NLT, "For God will save Jerusalem and rebuild the towns of Judah." Why? Because through our sin, they got destroyed and we ended up scattered everywhere in different countries. Maine won't be in America, right? North and South America. It says his people will live there. See, his people will live there and settle in their own land, proving what I just said to the Spirit. Let's get one more. All right, let's go to Jeremiah. Let's go to Jeremiah 3, and we're going to get 23, right? Verse 23. You know what? Let's get another one. Well, I'll get this too. It says, Jeremiah 2 and 33 and 23, "Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills, and the multitude of mountains," right? "Truly in the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, our God is the salvation of Israel." So these mountains, spiritually, they represent churches, places of worship, but also people, right? Infrastructure. They represent the different heathens, the governments of these heathens, so ultimately heathens, right? The heathens, non-Israelites, right, have went on to be, according to the Lord, mountain and hill like, right? Let's prove that. Ezekiel 35 and 1 prophesied against Mount Seir. Verse 1, "Moreover, the word of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, prophesy against it. Say unto it, Thus saith the Lord, power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate." And that's dealing with so-called white people. The Lord is not saving everybody, right? He only came to save Israel. All right? So that's a whole nother thing. So point being, these mountains and hills represent these people, other nations, due to the power they procured unto themselves over the years, centuries, right? Jeremiah 3 and 23. "So truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, our God is the salvation of Israel." That's funny. So that's that, man. All right. So now, once again, salvation for you Israelites, man. And we're still here. The Lord didn't get rid of his people. You can read Romans 11 and tell you that. You can read Jeremiah 31 and tells you that. Read it from the top. Lord ain't getting rid of his people. You can read that whole chapter, right? We're still here. James 1:1 tells you that, right? Come on, man. Revelation 21 and 12 tells you that. If we're done away with, how the kingdom gonna have 12 gates with the children of Israel's name on it? Well, we became Israel. No, you didn't. But that's a whole nother thing, man. Somebody gotta be the people of that mountain in order for the Lord to destroy them. And he already said, Moabites, they never gonna enter into the congregation of the Lord. So ain't no salvation for nobody else. So as it says, 2 Ezra 9 and 7, it shall be that all who will be saved and will be able to escape on account of their works, on account of the faith by which they have believed, will survive the dangers that have been predicted, and will see my salvation in my land, right, and within my borders, which I have sanctified for myself from the beginning. So that's that, man. So we now know all these things that are occurring, which is what? Earthquakes, tumults of the people, right? Intrigues of nations, wavering of leaders, confusion of princes. You know, these pretty much these infrastructures being these people in power and leadership, they pretty much like Sri Lanka, right? They have insurrection, right? They have mutiny going on, right? Acts of treason they're doing. They're abandoning the people, and it's pissing the people off, and it's causing uproars of the people, which is how it reads in the NLT. It's like in the KJV. For those that don't know, so I'll just jump there. But that's a good translation right there as well, right? So verse 3, it says, 2 Ezra 9 and 3 in the KJV, the authorized version. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, just to keep it simple, right? In the world, then shalt thou well understand. So there it is. That's the end. Those are signs of the end. All right? So let's get to this. You think this stuff small? These crowds you could be living in one of these buildings where uproar going at, and they burn the building down. You in the building, sleep, baby, everybody. You coming back from getting groceries, there's an uproar that take place, right? The crowd march to where you live at. They just start destroying the whole city, because you know these people at their wits' end, they just lose their mind. They losing their mind, man. So yeah, this all comes down to needing salvation. Everybody is angry and in violence, and it's just chaotic, and come on, man, ain't nothing to play with. And they're righteously angry because of what it said. These damn princes, they don't know what's going on, right? It's simply because of these princes, man. All right. As it says, so when there shall appear in the world, back in the NRSV, it says earthquakes, tumults of people, intrigues of nations, wavering of leaders. That's what? Treason, confusion of princes. They ain't doing nothing for these people. These people are starving, they hungry. So you think they don't really mean business? You don't think they'll touch you to eat, to not longer starve or whatever? Deal with the hikes on taxes. They sick of this shit, man. Because of the powers that be, that are in power rulership right now, they ruling according to so-called white man's rule. Who's the devil?
right? He deceived the whole world. He's been, performing treason. He's been making people think he helping you. He putting people in office that care. They passing orders that is in your favor. It's power for the people. Your vote count. They've been lying, and all these other heathens that got their countries up and going, they copied off him. That's why it says in Jeremiah right here in the 51st chapter. So this shit is going down. So you better wake up. All right, because the time is flowing. It's closing. It's ending. It says Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah's hand that made all the earth drunk. And that's America. The nations, right, meaning the other countries, have drunken of her wine, right, and these other, heathen races, right, have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad, right? So they pissed because they subjected to an American, right, American ruled society, right? A country that's based off the American so-called white man, lynching white man ideologies. So they subjected to the same shit as a cursed Israelite, right? So they pissed. Everybody sipping of what people in America, tasting, which is majority been drunk by the Israelites. The Lord said we wrung out the cups. All right, we've been the one drinking. We've been drinking for everybody. All right. That's why he said the cup, we shall drink no more. The cup when we pass to Edom, according to Lamentations, the 3rd chapter? All right. It says, Isaiah 51:17, awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, right, which has drunk at the hand of Yahweh, the cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling, and wrung them out. See, we've been the one drinking this shit, and that's what look at our people. Look at the households. We've been the main one drinking, right? Ain't nobody else been drinking. So if you want to know what the cup tastes like, look at the condition of our people, right? So now these people who are weaker than us, now that they're starting to taste that, they can't hang. They pissed. They mad. They like, I don't want to drink this. I'm not drinking this shit. Lamentations 4 and 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Right? These people pissed, man. I'm gonna start at 18. It says, let me start at 17. This a part of the cup. It says, as for us, the ingredients to this cup we've been drinking out of, right? This drink that we've been drinking out of. It says, as for America was made to be a punishment. It's a punishment, right? So if all these places setting they places up like America, their place is just a goddamn punishment. And that's how these people are gonna feel. They're gonna feel punished. So it's like, yo, they're like, you're punishing us. It says, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Right. So they're starting to taste that. They're like, yo, my country, Sri Lanka, they ran in dude's crib. They ran in the palace. This dude had to flee and leave the country. It says, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. You see that in Tokyo. You see that in, France, Paris. You seeing this in all these places. People can't even go out goddamn side. You seeing that in, in China, with the lockdown. They put all these places practicing the so-called white man's ways of doing stuff, which is draconian legislation, right? It says, our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is coming. But that's the part that they not necessarily going to meet, but in a sense they are, because they're not Edomites. But you got Edomites obviously everywhere, right? Which are the people that they don't really have nothing to look forward to because they written to be eradicated after 1,000 years of servitude to us, right? As a payback, aka a penalty for what they did to us. And throughout that process, they're gonna be perishing. And by the time it's over with, however the Lord do it, they're gonna be gone though, right? After 1,000 years. So ultimately, this is the cup these people drinking of. It says our persecutors. This is what they tasted, right? Even the Edomites, even still, that's not in power and that's subject to, the rulers that be in the places they in. But anyway, it says our persecutors are swifter than the eagles, right? Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven, right? Which is a bird of prey, right? They prey on people. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. You can't escape these people. You can't shake them. It's like you go here, they take it from you. You want to go to the wilderness and buy this. You need a license to get away. You just want to fish. You need a license to do that. You go to the city, you got to pay goddamn tolls. You got to street parking. You got to pay the damn garbage. You got all these damn utilities. You just pay, and shit get more expensive. But you keep paying never to own shit, right? Then when you do own something, you still don't own it. Like that's what the fuck America's been to us. It's been a nightmare. And all these places, they follow America. So now that these places are becoming a nightmare. That everyone is in a nightmare, right? It says the breath of our nostrils, the anointing of Yahweh, right? Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai was taken in their pits, of whom we said, under his shadow we shall live among the heathen. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup, see, that was all of the cup, also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. But the point showing you, the point here, through this, which is, we've been the only one drinking this. It's seen here in this verse, because it said the cup also shall pass through unto thee. So clearly they didn't have it. They never drunk of it. We was drinking it. To the point we had to drink for everybody. It says the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Yep. So as everybody else started to taste it, the Lord taking the cup out of our hand, right? But anyway, ultimately, we still got a little bit to drink. The cup your house shot drink out of, but this shit. Look, what's that reminiscent of? Right? Quick point. See that? See that? What's that reminiscent of? Drinking the cup. You can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up. This went on where? In America. They was doing this to us. They wasn't doing this to y'all. Now y'all know how I feel, right? And y'all, you know what it tastes like, and y'all don't like it. So that's why these places go with these people uproaring. And this South America, so Salaki. No, that's Spain. I'm tripping. So a bunch of damn Spaniards and damn just heathens, man. Alright. Maybe some Jakes mixed in that, but So yeah, man, this was going on.
Simple formula.
So this is signs that the end is here. You know, tumults of people. All right. If you don't know what tumult is, it's a loud noise. So there's a bunch of yelling and frenzy going on in the street, right? Raging, right? A loud, confused noise, especially one caused by a large mass of people. Lord hit it spot on. Confusion or disorder, turmoil, disorder, disarray, disturbance, unrest, chaos, mayhem, trouble. And this is how we know what we're in Jacob's trouble now. And this shit gonna turn up in America. Why they got all you damn people thinking y'all just so beloved and just y'all the best people on the face of the earth. You just your Christmas and your presents and your little blue-eyed Edomite babies, blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? Your little demon-ass little kids, you Israelites. That's just ignorant as hell, right? And disgusting. You just think, you know, and your ignorance is promoted and rewarded by the damn devil if you become a rapper or a whore or something. Y'all think, you know, through all of that, like this place not gonna meet no fate, man. No response for all of that shit. Which is why all this is happening, and it is. This is the source of that stuff. So if all these other places meeting that, y'all, this place about to meet that. Y'all about to meet that. We gonna sit here and we told you ignorant niggas this is gonna come. And so when that time come, Lord willing, we be those people that's gonna be saved, the elect. We gonna laugh at y'all. We gonna get that power, and y'all gonna be looking stupid. Y'all gonna know a prophet has been among you. Y'all gonna see us as the true gold we are. And you don't care about a chain or a fake ass gold chain anymore, right? So you seeing all that, man. Tumult to the people. These were said to be the signs of the end, intrigues of nations and the wavering of leaders, which is why these people are uproaring, right? And confused because their damn leaders lying to them, man. So anyway.
To New York are demanding higher wages and better. Tonight, workers from California to New York are demanding higher wages and better working conditions. They're staging walkouts and going on strike amid a Gallup poll showing worker stress is at an all-time high. CBS's Elise Preston reports on growing work dissatisfaction. Fed up and frustrated.
And I'm gonna end on that.
More than 150 Amazon workers walked off the job calling for a $5 raise and safer conditions at this California air freight facility. More than 2,000 Kaiser Permanente mental health care workers now on strike. They say they are stretched thin from the workload. And in Minnesota, nearly 15,000 nurses voted to authorize a strike.
We have been through hell and back, and we will not stop fighting until we are given a good and fair contract.
According to a new Gallup poll, half of workers are stressed, and 1 in 5 battle anger or sadness during the day.
This job sucks. This job is not fun, and we're not getting paid enough.
Dissatisfied and disengaged workers can cost.
Will not
strike.
We have been through hell and back.
Nearly 15,000 nurses and healthcare workers now on strike. They say they are stretched thin from the workload. And in Minnesota, nearly 15,000 nurses voted to authorize a strike.
We have been through hell and back, and we will not stop fighting until we are given a good and fair contract.
According to a new Gallup poll, half of workers are stressed, and 1 in 5 battle anger or sadness during the day.
This job sucks. This job is not fun, and we're not getting paid enough.
Dissatisfied and disengaged workers can cost the global economy $7.8 trillion in lost productivity. This summer, more than 415,000 American workers stopped clocking in. What is the message to companies moving?
This the message. This is Psalms 107 and 27. They reel to and fro and stagger like a drunken man. All these people off the lies of America, they've been drunk off of it, right? But now they about to wake up with a hangover, you know, just completely make a mess. You know, they piss, they finish, right? But a lot of people just choosing to drink through the pain, right? But eventually you gotta stop at some point, right? Then you sober up and you be like, yo, I ain't drinking this shit no more. They say they real to and fro and stagger like a drunken man and are at their wits' end. These people are at their wits' end. They can't take it anymore. It's over with, you know. All right, but yeah.
Word. They need to look at how to retain workers. It's not just getting workers in the door.
Mother of two, Sarah Fry, is getting called back to her AT&T office in September after working remotely during the pandemic.
I'm like a lot of folks, and there's a panic setting in. Some persons have actually said they're literally weeping every day, thinking about how they have to change up their day.
Amazon says it is proud of its competitive pay and safe work environment. Kaiser Permanente says the company has been negotiating with the union for more than a year, with nearly 2 job openings.
And Amazon was already declared to be like a slave job, man, like completely. That came out when it first started. All right. This Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city. That's why we know destruction coming here. It is all full of lies and robbery. See, and robbery. The prey departed not. The noise of a whip and the noise of a rattling of the wheels. Right. These people are horses. They're cattle, as they call you. Right. It says it started with the elite bankers. The whole mentality of America comes from the global elite that run the world. Right. Right. It says, and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. Right? And this the point. It says, verse 3, the horseman lifted up the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there was a multitude of slain, a great number of carcasses, and there was none end of their corpses. Which is talking about ancient Assyria, right? Which is, Nineveh was a part of, but it was it was a foreshadow of America. It was just like America. But anyway, it says, they had the same shit going on there. It says, and there is none end of their corpses, that they stumble upon their corpses. Right? People is all type of deaths and sacrificing that's taking place, that's being made by the powers that be in America. So look what the response is in other places over the east. Eventually people are gonna they just been under this spell, right? But it ain't working no more according to this, right? They waking up from it. They've been hypnotized. We're American. I'm proud to be an American. All that crap. People not hearing that no more. It's not working. Make America great. The slogans is out the window. And your own president's fighting and saying they're gonna take away your rights. Trump said that before he left office. You don't think people really listened and heard that? But of the multitude, and then the Joe Biden administration scandal, they call them the Biden crime family, because of the laptop from hell, Joe Biden's laptop. It's over for the so-called white man, Esau. Everything coming out with these damn pedophiles, damn Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, all these deeper people, man. You know, the damn Epstein Island, all of this stuff, right? They ain't doing, but the point is, staying on point with America, it says, but of the multitude of the whoredoms, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft, right? That's why people, ultimately lost everything they had, tried to chase the American dream. That was witchcraft. They went for it, they suffered it. People lost everything, People's homes have been, destroyed through, the significant, the man and the woman is significant. Them being significant to, each other, like the significant other. That whole thing was tainted and polluted through the desire of the American dream that probably couldn't be met. It could never be met. And these fucking people, they're pissed, man. It says, but of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, making you think you can make it. Every vote counts, all that crap, the damn commercials, Super Bowls, all the entertainment they gave you, right? Which the Lord, He's in that, because, you know, we're the entertainers. But if we're sick, destroyed, and taken out of the way, there's no more distraction, because that's all the entertainment field is anyway, which has been admitted openly on ESPN. But there's so much stuff you say, so I'm going to get ready to close out. It says, the families through her witchcrafts. And that's it. Behold, I am against thee. See? Just like he said against the Mount Seir. It's the same people. That's who's running this place. The governing of Esau, Edom. So-called white people, starting through the elite bankers. It says, save Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. So everybody is seeing this place for what it is. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. They ain't no make America great again. We done, we walking out, we ain't clocking in no more, we not hearing this. Eventually they gonna start destroying this place. And that's according to 2 Ezra 15 chapter. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? You can't, right? No bomb.
For each unemployed person, workers are in the driver's seat. If employees don't get what they want, they may consider a job switch. Nora?
So I'm just right
Watch
through
this. I can show you how.
the positivity of people when I'm going to close out. All right.
We saw violent protests erupting over the Christopher Columbus. 2 years after we saw violent protests erupting over the Christopher Columbus statue in Grant Park, a city panel is now recommending that multiple statues and monuments be permanently removed, saying they honor white supremacy or disrespect indigenous people. CBS 2 Sabrina Franza live in Grant Park. And Sabrina, there's more backlash coming from some Chicago groups.
We're going to jump to the next one. So people just pissed everywhere, man. Let me grab that scripture real quick. Proverbs 29. Right? And 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So the wicked is ruling, according to Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Yeah. And who's running everything? The so-called white people. Starting with the elite banking families, the fake Jews, the Jewish families. Alright? Which is proven because they own everything and people mourning. So y'all gotta be the wicked. And that's it. And y'all obviously the people that's ruling. So y'all the wicked that's ruling, which is why people mourning and pissed everywhere. Because y'all are heathens. You don't know what you're doing. People out here, your citizens, they gotta clean up your own mess. Right? They gotta respond to people that's pissed at your poor judgment, right? Your greediness, your wickedness, right? Your lies, your shedding of blood, your injustice system, right? It's an injustice system. They gotta, regular people gotta respond to the people responding to that, which is it makes you look even worse. Furious drivers physically drag activists off a busy highway. And they look like Israelites. And then the devil, he's so wicked, he signed they signed an order that you can run people over in the middle of the that's protesting, that's blocking you from getting where you're trying to go if you're in your car, and won't be penalized. You can look it up. I spoke on it before. Which one of the elite said, like, you know, they're going to be happy when all the blood is in the street, you know. Streets. Baron Rothschild, an 18th century British nobleman and member of the Rothschild banking family, is credited with saying that, quote unquote, the time to buy is when there's blood in the streets, right? So when people are distracted, right, that's when they're gonna make moves. People distracted due to their own wickedness, and they're distracted to the point they're no longer focused on the one that's causing their issues, and instead they probably caught up in fighting each other, thus leading to blood, uproar, and that's it, man. It says he should know. Rothschild made a fortune buying in the panic that followed the Battle of Waterloo against Napoleon. You know? So, buy when there's blood in the streets, even if the blood is your own. So they're just capitalists, like they're just wicked as hell, man. Alright? Buy when there's blood in the streets. How you gonna know there's blood that's gonna be in the street?
Well, that was the moment a few locals had to take matters into their own hands on a busy highway in Italy. Furious motorists were forced to get out of their cars on Rome's Rocca Highway as a few Extinction Rebellion protesters sat on the road. The highway is actually one of the city's busiest roads. You can see in the video there was a pile-up of traffic, causing drivers to become increasingly angry, so much so that a few literally got out of their cars and physically moved the protesters to the side of the road. That action would allow for a few cars to get through until the activists walked straight back onto the road and sat down again. The Daily Mail reported later on that the police arrived and arrested them. According to an Italian publication, the group is actually a subpart from Extinction Rebellion called Last Generation. They are calling for the end of fossil fuel extraction projects and want more wind and solar energy to be used across Italy.
Yeah, so people just pissed, man. People pissed that people pissed. Everybody pissed. So yeah, I'm just run through these, that'll be it.
Under siege. At least 24 cars set on fire in Tijuana, Mexico Friday night. The U.S. consulate warned Americans to avoid the area and shelter in place until further notice. The mayor announced 3,000 armed police and military personnel responded to the incidents. She assured a message is being sent to organized crime not to attack innocent working citizens. The federal government today announcing the arrest of 17 people, 3 identified as members of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. It's just the latest in a string of violent attacks throughout Mexico. A prison riot in Juarez killed 11 on Thursday.
And you gotta understand this big biblical prophecy. Expect to see more of these things. Expect to see more uproars until the point where it's an uproar to a point of no return, right? That's the expect to see more, man, and spread more and more. This is 2 Esdras 15 and 18. It says, "Alas," I'm gonna start at 14. For alas for the world and for those who live in it. Right? People that love it so much. For the sword and misery draw near them. See, near them and nation, and they're a bunch of proud people, so that's good. waiting to see it, right? It says the nation shall rise up to fight against nation with swords in their hands. So, civil war, right? It says for their race wars, stuff like that, it says for there shall be unrest among people, growing strong against one another. They shall in their might have no respect for their king or the chief of their leaders. So there it is. They're gonna be so pissed, so caught up and just fighting what they believe in. They not gonna care about laws, police. They gonna the storming of the Capitol. All that was staged, which is prophecy too. It goes on to say it says there is going to be sedition among men. All right, there's going to be sedition among men. So jumping to the point, because of their, I'm going to read on. For a person will desire to go into a city and shall not be able to do so. They're going to shut those roads down. You're going to have people that might, some Batman shit, know how to, take a road out. You know what I'm saying? Like, some Dark Knight stuff, some Joker stuff. It says, because of their pride, the cities shall be in confusion. Right. These people believing they can have what they should have, that they believe in the American dream so much, they believe, in their free right, their right to speak, their First Amendment, all this other crap, right? It says the houses and then these places that got things, laws or legislation that's familiar with that, or they just may see, well, it's like that in America, why can't it be here? They got free speech there, why? And they're not going to care about nothing. So it's going to get to the point of no return. And a lot of people going to lose their lives. It says, because of their pride, the city shall be in confusion. The houses shall be destroyed, and people shall be afraid. So there it is. All right. And since I didn't get that in the, so you can see that's there. It says there's going to be sedition among men. All right. Where is that at? 16, for there shall be sedition among men, right? In the KJV verse. So it's going to be enticed to protest and to rise up, right? In general, even if it's the people in power doing it, That's how
Burnt
crazy
out buses and cars seen in
Why? Because there's an agenda, all right?
In Guanajuato, too. Back in Tijuana, tens of thousands were attending two nearby events while the violence broke out. The Baja Beach Music Festival and a professional soccer match.
So we started walking.
American Daniel Morales was there.
What was going through your head, or describe what that was like? Well, it's, I don't know. It's the first time I see something like this in Tijuana. Grew up there. It's just incredible. I saw a bus, like a public transport bus, that was on fire.
Americans now caught in the middle of a deadly power struggle.
Can't go back. They can't come back now. See that?
NBC News.
Last one.
2. Let's talk.
So yeah, man. This last video is gonna show you pretty much we in a time where it's about to hit anarchy mode.
It was a wild night for police as they responded to multiple calls of street racing throughout the city. And now we're learning a woman died in all that chaos. CBS 2's Sharday Gray is live in the West Loop at Morgan and Washington, where tire marks now cover that intersection. Sharday.
Because there used to be, you watched the Fast and Furious series, street racing used to be an underground thing. It used to be kept under wraps, like Batman. Superheroes don't come out at night type shit, right? Excuse my language, but they don't, pretty much that's how this used to be treated, right? You weren't supposed to get caught doing this, but it's so much bull, it's so much pride, so much make a moment to record and put it on the damn Instagram or a TikTok video, and it's just so many of the fences and barriers is breaking across the globe and everywhere, right? And it's all fake. So much knowledge has increased, right? Law and what ain't real, all this other shit, and what you should be able to do, and you can come up, you can be an influencer, you can make money. That these monsters out here, People just out here, right? That's what this is, and that's what anarchy. Everybody know the law enforcement is rigged. The injustice system is bull crap. It's all been. It's just the whole infrastructure was built to be destroyed, man. Like to not be able to go on. So that's why people don't have any problem with getting caught up with law enforcement at this point, because it's like it's all crap. It ain't really real. People been the damn officers always getting fired because they be in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it's like y'all just wrong. F that. You know, bunch of little, as the Elder Possible Car called them. That's exactly what they are, though. GMO babies. Little GMO babies. GMO little damn nigglets. GMO little fucking things, man. This damn Generation X crap, millennial shit, man, it's just crazy, man.
Well, Dana, I want you to take a look right behind me. You can clearly see where street drifters were doing donuts at intersections like this. The chaos spread from West Loop to Chinatown to Burbank, where the Chicago Fire Department says a woman was hit by a car and died.
This is a tragedy waiting to happen.
So just have fun, just be weirdos, look, helmet and change the natural use of everything and just not care and just woo and just dance and be in the middle of the street twerking with little animals. Monsters, menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Alright? That's what's going on. Mothers getting killed, life does not care about, but that leads me into what I'll probably come back on, which is the love of many wax and cold, right? Which is another big
That tragedy unfortunately coming true. Chicago police say a 27-year-old man and a 19-year-old woman were speeding, heading southbound on Cicero near 65th Street. The man changed lanes, hitting the other driver and a 40-year-old woman who was in the crosswalk. She was taken to Christ Hospital, where she died.
All these imaginations pushed by the so-called white man, he got everybody wanting to just live. Like, nah, like, it ain't no barriers. Like, you just, you could just, all these, the whole imagination that he's pushed to people being their imaginations. And that's what people just, it's like, niggas don't have a concern of death. They don't have a clue or sense for reality anymore, man. Right?
Chicago police sergeant told us the two cars were coming from 50th and Cicero, where drivers were street drifting and the two vehicles...
If you understand, this is prophecy you're seeing, alright?
Drag racing.
When we see more and more of these incidents happening, we gotta talk about the root causes.
The chaos spilled into Alderman Byron Sigcho Lopez's district in Chinatown near Lumber and
The animals were written to come out, man. It's all prophecy. These animalistic events and situations and that's taking place, people coming out, and mass tragedies is continuously happening. It's all end time prophecy. End time prophecy.
He voted for a recent ordinance that says any person who participates in illegal street racing or drifting on any Chicago street, highway, or public way could be fined anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, and cars involved can be impounded.
This ordinance has been in effect since last month, and we see these incidents not stopping. They haven't stopped. If anything, they're getting worse and worse.
And that's prophecy. The Lord said that. Shit is only going to get worse, man. That's a good ending point. So this is 2 Ezra 14 and 16. It says, "For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much more the evil shall increase upon them that dwell therein." Alright? So there it is. And it's all to bring the earth to a point where the Creator got to come back, because it will completely be off course, like in every way. For the time is fled far away, and leasing is hard at hand. It says, "For now hasteth the vision to come, which thou hast seen." And that's how you know the vision is hasting. Your so-called black man coming back, right? How was shot, man. Yahushua. He about to come, Hamashiach, he's about to come and do a number, right? About to conform his brethren. They're going to put this earth back in order. It's going to be devastating, man. Expose the world you've basically been living in the whole time as being completely wicked. Devil, who the devil truly is. Exposing that white man completely so-called to be exactly who he is. And that's a damn devil.
CPD tells us 6
imagination.
squad cars were damaged as they tried to break up the crowd in Chinatown. Several people gathering, blocking intersections, waking up several neighbors in West Loop like Joanne Coughlin.
So 911 not going to work anymore because these are regular people at 9 to 5. Y'all going to lose y'all lives trying to keep heal Babylon. It's already written she can't be healed. So you keep trying to enforce and protect and serve and protect what you don't do, right? Y'all going to keep perishing. You cops, y'all perishing left and right. Y'all regular peon people any damn way. Y'all the worst of the batch. And call along like Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua for that, man. Call along like Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua, man.
Very frightening, for sure. And, I've always felt pretty safe in this neighborhood until lately.
Coughlin recorded this video from her balcony of people drag racing in her neighborhood.
I'm afraid it's going to happen again, and I'm afraid it's going to escalate and get worse.
CPD says the 27-year-old driver faces a citation for obstructed front windshield and pedestrian in the roadway, but the sergeant tells us that he could also face a manslaughter charge. Reporting live in the West Loop, Sade Gray, CBS 2 News.
So you people out here amongst prophecy, you don't even know it, man. All right, so if you didn't know that before watching this news reports of prophecy, you know now, man. And I'm gonna just end this here. It says 13. Now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Right. So get yourself right, see this for yourself, understand what's going on, and then correct and get yourself out of this, and then correct those of our people that need to hear this, that ain't heard this, for them to get out of it and understand only the elect is going to come out of it. It ain't meant for everybody to come out, right? They got to be told. It says comfort such of them as be in trouble, right? Which is those that's in this. This is just prophecy. This is the will. This is the day that the Lord has made. So we're going to be glad in it, man. Because the Lord said when we see all these things, look up, for the kingdom of heaven is nigh at hand. Because that's what's about to replace all this crap. A time when we're ruling. And that's why everything out of order, right? You can't have the people that's got everybody happy at one point, the battery of the earth not being treated as such. You don't muzzle the ox, all right, which is us, right? But it says we gotta eat. So that's why shit is all messed up just off that, right? Off GP it says, and now renounce corruption, let go from thee mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, right? So that's what had you not knowing this, cast that, and it was through the burdens of man, things, all these so-called fake priorities, you don't really have nothing to do, right? It tells you what's the principal things for man's life. Learn what they are. It's in the scriptures, right? I'll tell you that in Sirach 38, the 38th chapter, the 39th chapter, right? It might be the 39th chapter. It says, and a good one to go with that is 1 Philippians 4 and 12, I believe that is, on down. First Peter 4 and 12 on down, I believe. But anyway, it says, put off now the weak nature, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. Because it's about to get worse, so expect it. Alright, so we'll be back. There's more that's going on, but just want to touch on these things for now. Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushua. Call Wahara Chakudash. Until next time, Shalom.